Looks like I'm live. Welcome to the weekly live subscriber hangout. I know I didn't do them for a while because I lost my voice. I know most people say that I still, now sound just fine. I'm actually still recovering. Probably two or three more weeks. Nothing reminds you of the fact that you lost your voice as going out to a loud place and talking to someone there for a couple of hours. It really, literally hurts. So anyway, as you guys are joining, don't forget to let me know in the live chat where you're watching me from, and also which kind of electric car you're driving or thinking about. Um, Obviously, you're seeing my background that I changed for this live stream in support of our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. I just made a video on Sunday about, how 10 years ago I said, hey guys, buying electric cars may just prevent those oil wars, which this one partially probably is part of. And I was actually, surprised by how many people disagree with that. It is what it is. I have absolutely no shame and no problem losing subscribers or supporters if they do not support this cause. Again, this show is not really political, but this is that kind of time. But we'll still talk about electric cars. Obviously, I'll answer your questions. Max from Denmark, Christopher from down the street, Modesto, California, Turkey. Oh, Funhog 911. I was just in Turkey. I don't know if you know, and my God, I just fell in love with that place. I would love to go back. It was just so like I was there for 4 days. It was just really, really, really amazing, and such Istanbul is where I mainly spend my time. And my goodness, it was such a great trip. I can't wait to go back. All right, guys, let's get going with everything. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm game. So we're gonna start right now. Welcome to E4 Electric. As always, don't forget to click on the thumbs up. Let's see, we're at 15 now. And let's get that to, I don't know, what was our goal last time? 100. Let's do that. And of course, as always, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. But I'm assuming that all of you guys are subscribers. Let me know in the comment section if you are not a subscriber. That would be weird. I don't even know how you would be notified about this, but all right. Let's see. Neil says that he is in Temecula. I never know how to pronounce that name. Aptera investor and reservation holder. All right. I think they're going in production this year, right? Let's see. Christopher says, really proud of you, Alex. You have really grown and even have become more funny too. You know what? I did not become more funny. First of all, I think I said it several times. I don't really know when I'm actually funny. I think I just started talking like I normally do and commenting on things like I do in normal life on camera. So I wasn't trained in this. I just basically told you like, oh, well, this is just the way I am. I might as well talk this way. Tommy, who is a premium member, says hi from Vero Beach. Where is Vero Beach? Is that California? Sounds California, but I'm not really sure. Let's see. Rocky says, never been, but love Turkey cuisine. Yeah, I mean, the food was amazing. And it wasn't just Turkish food. I mean, I ate in different types of restaurants. I mean, it was wow. Let's see. Val says, I'll be leaving Tesla for Genesis after my lease in August. Well, tell us why. Why leave Tesla? And also, what do you see in Genesis? That's a not very common choice. So I'd like to know why you picked Genesis. Let's see. Tommy is from Florida. I really am lucky that so many people from like around the world are watching this channel, because it's great that we have electrification here and in Europe and China, but I see people from countries that don't have the infrastructure, where it's really hard to get an electric car, and when you do, there's no customer support, there is no There's no superchargers or fast chargers all over the place. There's no Sprouts with or IKEA with charge free charging stations, and yet they still do it. It was kind of like that almost 10 years ago when I got my first Tesla, and I'm really proud of those people who are just like still really kicking butt and getting themselves electric vehicles, or at least promoting them somewhere. All right, I got a first super chat from Craig. 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much. As you guys know, it goes all to my Chipotle fund, which I am heading to right after this. And I think I need to pick up some groceries. By the way, I really have to apologize. I'm gonna have to um, look at my phone once in a while because I have maintenance people coming to my place, and as always, like, yeah, we'll be here from 1 to 5, and I'm like, you want me to just sit at home and wait and do nothing for 4 hours for you guys? They said yes. So, all right. Okay, so Craig says, loved your video. Gas cars are part of the reason why we're in this issue with Ukraine. Yeah, definitely big part of it. Have you forgiven Musk for at least providing a Starlink to Ukraine? No, listen, great move, right? And this is where entire community of the world, from not just politicians, but also people and private businesses and public businesses can help. I think the biggest, actually, believe it or not, I think the biggest weapon we have against this is Anonymous, the hacking group. They've already like hacked Russian TV and started putting real news on there. That's important. I've talked to a few people in Russia and Ukraine. Obviously, a lot of them are afraid to talk because they are really cracking down on any type of resistance. Even in Russia, most Russians don't want this, including myself, obviously. So yeah, great move by Musk, and it is very, very important that they have the internet. So yeah, no, kudos to Elon. And it's not like I mean, I'm not gonna forgive him for calling an innocent man a pedophile, right? I'm not gonna forgive him for telling people that the virus is gonna be over, don't worry about it. Only few weeks into it. Not those are just really bad mistakes. But he also does a lot of good. That's what I'm saying. Elon Musk is a complicated issue. Like, there's always like, I hate Elon Musk, I love Elon Musk. Well, what about in the middle where the actual reality is? I feel like a lot of people don't want to live in the middle. Everyone's going to be pro con of everything, right? And I know it's first world problems, arguing about Tesla, but he does some amazing things and he does some crappy things. But all right, well, thank you so much for this super chat. Owen is here from Normandy. Oh yeah, so Val is actually, wait a second. Val is answering my question. He says Genesis is a perfect blend of sport and luxury. The cars also look amazing. They're pretty cool. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever been in one. Yeah, and they're not really doing a good job talking to us, the media, sort of promoting the cars or talking to us about it. So, unfortunately, I don't know as much about it, but they are good-looking cars for sure. Let's see. Mike says prepping for an 800-mile road trip in the ID4 next month. What are you doing to prep? I'm wondering. But make sure that obviously the Electrify America chargers are there, that they're active. Like, you might actually want to pull every single one of them up on your app. Plug Share is also a must have app, especially for backup, right? Make sure that if you end up at the charging station and it's not working or whatever, which hasn't happened much, I have to say, I have not had much problem with Electrify America ever. And I think they're getting better with every day, like getting pretty close to really good. But still, make sure you have a backup plan. You know what I mean? Make sure you have a backup plan. Let's see. Butch Nelson says, Porter, so you're talking to some, you guys should be talking to me. Okay. I moved over from a Prius to a Tesla, amazing car. Well, I mean, you can move to horse and carriage from Prius and it would be amazing, right? I hate Priuses. But I hope your driving habits have improved since moving out of Prius. All right. It's always fun to take a shot at the Prius drivers. So sorry. Another super chat. Wow, you guys are, oh, that's from the same guy. Yes, from Craig. All right. Another 10 Canadian dollars. I'm getting guac. I'm getting guacamole with my. I'm not getting because I've gained a few pounds in the last week, so I need to lose all of them this week. Um, Craig says I agree completely. I live in Ottawa. I just turned in my fanboy card. All right. Tell me more about it. Why? And you can not be a fanboy of something but still like it. I'm not a fanboy of Android phones, but I mean I use them. They're not getting any better, but like you don't have to be a fan of everything, a fanboy of everything. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be pro everything or con everything. Um, let's see. Sorry guys, just want to make sure no one's going to be knocking down on my door. Because this appointment took like 6 months to 6 weeks to schedule to fix my oven, my brand new oven, by the way. I cooked in it like twice, and now I have to call the service in it. Um, Roger M says, any updates on sodium ion batteries? They have great commercial potential. I've been hearing more and more about them. I have not seen a company progress or kind of put out any major statements. I'm even kind of slowing down on all the news with, like, for example, StoreDot just put out a press release that their batteries you're gonna be able to charge, I think, 100 miles in 1 minute by 2024. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2028 or something, like really far ahead. No, it wasn't even that. It was by 2030, a really long time from now, where I was like, hey guys, I'm glad you're working on it, but putting out something that's going to happen in 10 years is not, no. Unless it's happening within a year or two, it's I just people get kind of desensitized, right? Um, Mike says, sold my Tesla, kept the stock though. All right. I don't know what's going to happen with all of the stocks nowadays, right? I mean, who knows? Um, Chosen one. All right. I am also kind of chosen, But are you still loving your ID4? I am, but a couple things that I'm hating, right? The app still sucks. Though it got a little faster as far as warming the car up or cooling the car down, which is like the main reason I use the app. So that gotten a little bit better. I mean, it used to just not freaking work, right? Now it kind of does. And but I've been having so much trouble connecting my phone, even after upgrading to the Pixel 5. I'm working with Volkswagen to figure out if this is just my issue, which it does seem like it, or it's a widespread issue. And if it's a widespread issue, I will absolutely rip them a new one, because that is unacceptable to have a car that's not working with one of the most popular, phones out there. So we will see. Um, let's see. Lafayette Porter says, not a fan. Boy, I think Tesla, not great. Just want more options. Okay, all right, that's awesome. That's exactly where I'm at. Oscar, so many people commenting who I haven't seen before. Meanwhile, let's get those thumbs up to 100. I see 102 people watching and 32 thumbs up. I can't imagine so many people hating me. So, and by the way, if you want to click thumbs down, that's perfectly fine too. Any engagement is fine with me. So let's see if we can get it to 100. We're still at 32, but I'll 37. All right, 5 of you just like, I'm on it, Alex. I love it. All right, Oscar says, hello, Alex. Love your show. Thank you. You should sometimes cover Chinese EV, even if not marketed here in America. The IR advances are phenomenal and justify a matter of time before they head here. I cover EV Chinese EVs all the time. Xpeng Motors was one of my sponsors. I covered them, BYD, NIO, and I mean, and they are now in Europe. And it looks like NIO is kind of gearing up to be here in the US. BYD has already they've been making buses, electric buses, for many years. I have a video of me visiting their factory in Southern California. So no, I cover them all the time, except for I just can't cover news that really, really are not relevant to the US and Europe, because obviously no one's watching me in China, right? Google and YouTube is a Google service, prohibited in there, so no one's watching me there. Maybe somebody is ripping off my videos and translating them in Chinese, and maybe I'm super popular there now. But yeah, so that's why I kind of careful and kind of limit my coverage that really, like, at all does not really do anything for us here. But I agree. I mean, If you think about Xpeng Motors navigation and well, really self-driving software is arguably just as good as Tesla's, if not better. Especially in China. Now I know they're just operating in China; it's much easier, but still, I'm just saying they're definitely kicking some butt, and sales are getting up there. They've all reported 2021 sales, and they're kind of impressive for all three of those: BYD, Neo, and Xpeng Motors. Um, all right, Lafayette is saying my startup is working with the University of Idaho on an LFP storage battery. 20 years life expectancy, only 20% loss of capacity. That's not bad, And I love the fact that it's just so many startups now that probably will be bought out by bigger companies. I think QuantumScape is the biggest one that I'm covering, though they are public. Stony says hi from New Zealand. Hello. One of these days I got to visit. What an amazing place! I'm hearing more and more great things about it. Really. Let's go, Brandon. Username, really? That's instead of your actual name, you want to go there? Okay, I think it's stupid. Sorry, man. I just, regardless of how you feel, how about you just say, for example, I stand with Ukraine as your username, or I don't know. I don't know why a message of hate you would want as your username, but I'll read your comment anyway. The battery company to watch is one out of Michigan. I think one stands for I forgot what I know E stands for energy. I literally just edited a video where we actually spelled it out. Our new energy, I think that's what it stands for. But yes, I mean, me and Sandy Monroe talk about it. Well, he mainly talks about it all the time. So absolutely agree. All right. So yes, our next, yeah. While I was turning my brain on Dragon King, already let me know. Let's go. Brandon says it's okay, Alex. I still love you. Okay, I still love you, but I'm just always encouraging to be more positive than negative. You know what I mean? Um, so, all right. Okay. I think we might have a troll here, but we'll see. All right, but it's so easy to ban people here, so we'll see. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah, kick him out just in case. All right. Omri Carmel asks, really? Oh, we're up to 70 likes. Look at you guys, doubled the number of likes. Trying to get to 100. I know the audience is a little bit smaller today, as I expected. I mean, my videos are getting way less views. I think everyone's looking at the coverage of, Ukraine and everything. But still, I think we can do 100, right? 73 now. Dragon King says our next energy looks amazing, but guys, don't forget it's still one-off car, right? It's great that they've made it work, but as we've all learned, that making one of something is much easier than making a million of them. I really hope that technology works, and maybe Tesla or someone else will buy them. But again, it's just one. So let's hold our horses for just a little bit. Mark says, I saw the Lucid dealer in Palm Springs, Florida. It was stunning. First time seeing Lucid in person. Yeah, and their showrooms are really cool. Just all these startups, whether it's Neo or Xpeng in China or Rivian or Lucid here in the US, their showrooms are really cool. And, I'm starting to see so many EVs that I've never seen on the road. Just in the last 3 days, driving to the Bay Area and back. I go to Oakland like almost every Friday. So just in a couple of days, I saw my very first e-tron GT in a while. I mean, I saw these cars on car shows and stuff like that, but a customer driving it's great. Ioniq 5 in a while, and EV6 in a while. I was with my date when I saw the two of them, or even three, and I was like, oh my god! And she's like, this dude is like insane. Why would he? But you don't understand. This is a big deal. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, this is a great comment because I get to educate David. I will be educating David. Xpeng stole the self-driving software from Tesla. They recruited a Tesla employee and they left and went to Xpeng. Tesla has a lawsuit against them. David, I will educate you because your opinion is beyond ignorant. First of all, that lawsuit is over. Secondly, you're right. The employee went from Tesla to Xpeng Motors, and stupidly enough, that idiot actually downloaded the source code from Tesla to his cloud. Now Tesla filed a lawsuit, and if you Google, like, I don't understand why people don't bother Googling stuff. You used to have to go to the library or ask people, but now you can Google stuff, David. But I'll do it for you because this is what I do for a living, educating people like you. So what happened was, and by the way, throughout the process, Expo Motors has consistently offered, saying, "Hey, listen, we're more than willing to give our code to an independent third party, and they can compare it, so you can see we didn't steal your crappy code," which it was, especially at that time. Remember, even Tesla said it was crappy because, remember, David, again, I don't know how much you know about Tesla, but they admitted that they ran their own self-driving code into the ground and had to completely rewrite their core software, right? So nobody wants that crappy code. So, and Tesla can always refuse. The only thing that Tesla said, well, we can compare the code, but only if you give us the code, and then we'll compare it here. And of course, Expo Motors told them to F themselves, as they should. Now, the lawsuit, and here it is a big educational point for you, David. The lawsuit ended with Tesla finally agreeing to that because the judge was like, hey, do you want to do this or not? And the independent company basically said there's nothing at all in common between the two codes. So the guy downloaded it, but never gave it to Xpeng. And don't forget, Xpeng has to take it. So he didn't give it to them and didn't take it. And as you know now, Xpeng actually using lidars for their self-driving, which will not be compatible with Tesla's code. And I cannot emphasize enough, nobody wants that piece of crap code because even Tesla had to rewrite it. So there you go, David. I'm glad that I was able to educate you. But again, I really hope that you, if anything, research stuff. And again, google.com is a great website. Before you make statements like this, it's just embarrassing. If I were you, I would just be embarrassed. So, but I'm glad I was able to help. Let's see. I'm gonna I gotta check my text. Wow, you guys are talking between yourselves a lot. David S says, I've ordered my Tesla Model X, and my question is it worth to add the self-driving for $12,000? To me, David, so it's again, I can't be recommending, or just the word worth is such a vague term, and it means different for everybody. It's like the word love, right? So it's different for everybody. To me, it's not even worth $12 because I don't want a software that's still essentially conducting human trials on people, right? I mean, phantom braking is something that's a serious issue with them right now. They released it, but these cars a lot of times brake on their own without anything on the road, and that's dangerous for you. So I would never want to use beta software when it actually is in control of my life in some ways. So that's number one. So it's not worth it for me, no matter, even if Tesla pays me $12,000, right? So that's, again, it's just me. Secondly, to me, I would only find use in self-driving software when it is, self-driving, which this one is not. If you have to keep your eyes on the road and hands on the wheel, or one of those two things, it's not self-driving. I'm just essentially supervising a child, which is much more difficult than doing the child's job. And that's why, I mean, I don't even understand how people justify $12,000, but again, it depends. If you have $10 billion, $12,000, no biggie. But if you're like me, no, $12,000 is a lot of money, and I'd rather buy a used whatever Nissan Leaf or something like that, especially if you have kids. But yeah, no, for me, it's not worth it. But again, I can't speak for anybody else. So maybe you guys here in the chat can more than welcome to rebuttal me. Val says, I agree, Alex. Teal, I'm assuming you meant Tesla, wants us to pay them $12,000 to help build their software. Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just like they're testing on you. Everybody else is testing in the lab. I mean, yes, first of all, they have their own drivers who are test driving. There's, Waymo does it, Cruise does it, everybody else does it, right? So, and then they put it in simulation. And that's how it should be done. But because I've been to those simulation computers, they can basically take a situation that occurred, right? Because let's be honest. This whole thing like, oh, real world scenarios can never be in similar. No, real world scenarios are all very simple. There's very few cases how crap happens, and because we're humans, we kind of repeat our mistakes all the time. So you take those 500, 1,000 situations of different accidents. I don't care, even 100,000 of them. You put in a computer, but what the computer does, right? It basically says, oh, here's the situation. I'm going to simulate it. What if a million different possibilities have happened? For example, they can rotate the sun, they can put on and off different lights that are on that road. For example, well, what if that light was out, right? Or is that why this happened? Because the light was out? So they put all of these situations in the real world situations that their own drivers have encountered, and that's how you test. You don't just hope that your customers who are paying you for this are going to get in all of those situations. I'm not even saying it's how I would do it. I mean, definitely that's how I would do it, but that's how everybody else does it. And not just with cars, with many other ways. Even chairs and mattresses get tested in simulation. So, yeah. All right. By the way, before we go any further, we're at 99 likes. So we're almost there. I won't even finish my sentence, and we'll see that we're at 100. I guess I was wrong, but all right. All right, guys. Before we go any further, I just want to quickly mention that this video is sponsored by Energy Pal. If you're shopping for your home solar system, it's the best place on earth to shop, review, and compare quotes. They do all of the hard work for you, and you get to save. You get the best rates, and once your installation is complete, guess what? You'll get an E4 Electric viewer exclusive $500 gift card when you use the link in the description of this video. I don't even know why it ended before I, stopped. Yeah. All right. But seriously, guys, Energy Pal is. I have a video about me using them to model the solar system for both of my houses here in Sacramento and in my house in Vegas, where I don't really live anymore. I'm actually now just live here full time in Sacramento. Claire says, "Come on, guys, work that thumbs up." You guys really did. I just looked away, and 22 of you have likes. So we're at 121 likes. All right. What should our next goal be? Can we? I'm gonna set a big goal of 200. Right. Um, all right, Brad celebrated with me before I even noticed. Let's see. Larry says, in your communications with QuantumScape, did they give you any hints when they will be releasing their batteries and whether they're planning on licensing the technology to other battery companies? Yes to both questions, and I put out that interview. So first of all, it looks like 2025 is what they're shooting for with Volkswagen Group cars. And yes, they've consistently released press releases saying that they've entered in agreements with some OEMs that are not Volkswagen Group. So that no, both yes to both of the questions. I mean, but let's see. They're definitely looking good. But again, we need to see. First of all, I want to see a prototype of them shoving their batteries in the car and seeing how that works. Right. That would be a big milestone. I'm waiting for that one. And then of course we can talk about everything else. Boom! I got another $5 super chat from Butch Nelson. Thank you so much, Butch. And of course, this is going to my next visit to Chipotle. 3G network is no more. Now Ford wants me to pay $500 for a box at their dealership to keep my free features like lock car, etc. Is this a money grab? So, I mean, Tesla just had the same issue. It depends what they promise, right? So I remember when I bought my Model S, I think they told us that the internet is going to be available for 4 years and free, right? So, and they kept that promise for way longer and for free. So kudos to them. At the same time, I don't, so I'm 50-50 on this one. There are some things I'm just not 100% sure of or really know what the right call is. First of all, of course, if you're selling a car and says, hey, listen, it will have internet, you can assume that it's forever. Just like when it says, we have a steering wheel. On another hand, the car also comes with brakes that are not forever, tires are not forever. Should you assume, is it the responsibility of the manufacturer to say, free internet is going to be forever? Not free service, but like free connectivity, meaning you are able to connect. I don't think that's reasonable to assume that. I think it's been what, 7 8 years since then. It's reasonable to assume that you have to put some money into keeping up some features in your car, like ability to brake, like other features that you just have to renew, like ability to have tires on your car. So I don't think it's a money grab. And I mean, $500. Maybe, I mean, I'm hoping that's with installation. It's a little pricey. They could have done a better job at cost. And I know you're talking about Ford. I don't know what Tesla charges for that, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's not unreasonable, but they could do better. Yeah, that's what I got. But you guys feel free to uh, to disagree. Welcome, John. He just became an exclusive E4 exclusive member. Welcome. Larry says, I agree. I would like to see a test vehicle too. We're talking about QuantumScape. Oh, here's a good question. David is asking, why don't you post your live chats after they are over? Meaning repost them, right? So if we miss it, we can watch it later. That could get you even more traffic and likes on your channel. So a couple of things. One is you can rewatch it when because I post the link in the community tab and on my Twitter and my Twitter feed. So when the show is over, the live show is over, you can still click on those links and rewatch it. The reason I don't repost it is because I just don't see any value for this unless it's live, unless you're part of the live stream, right? As you guys are just watching and asking questions and stuff like that. So I am working and I'm thinking about creating this in more of a kind of a streamlined show where, there's value to it afterwards. So for example, we can do some Q&A, and then we maybe have a guest that comes on, and then we have another third or fourth section, and altogether, if it's a shorter live stream, maybe 30 minutes, then I see the value in there to repost. But this, I'm not really sure if there's not much value. And those people who want to rewatch it, they have that link in the community tab. Yeah, in the community tab. But my other reason, you guys have to say, I always have to play. I'm in the universe of YouTube, and because this is my full time job, I kind of have to still make sure that I have income, right? When you repost something like this and there is not as much interest, I can see maybe 5,000, maybe to 10,000 people watching it. YouTube kind of punishes you next time because like, your previous video sucked, obviously, because you usually get like 50 to 100,000 views, but that one was 10 to 20,000 views. I don't know if we should promote your next video that much because you kind of sucked last week, and that's why I don't want to repost them. At least for now. By the way, if you guys have ideas of what we can do here on this live stream that would be worth for people to rewatch, I thought about maybe playing the game and having prizes, maybe having like a tip of the week, an electric vehicle tip of the week that will come from you guys, stuff like that, where it could be a theme every week. Then yes, I think if I shorten this, that's another thing. I love hanging out with you guys. So like I'll do it for an hour in 2 hours sometimes if my voice allows, which right now it doesn't. But so that's not repostable. So I would have to cut it down into 30 minutes, maybe an hour, right? So it's yeah. All right, Craig is kicking butt because not only this is his third super chat, now he super chatted with 20 Canadian dollars, which was a total of his two previous ones. So thank you, Craig, for feeding me this week, literally. So he says, I paid for it on two cars. I'm assuming you're talking about the upgrade from 3G to 5G or LT. Here's why. I love the latest software. It's you paid for the $12,000 for the self-driving software. Okay, let's hear it. Here's why. I love the latest software. It's $12,000. Musk says it will be 20,000. I plan on keeping my Tesla for 8 years. So it's like kickstarting. You pay early, you get it early, and get a discount. Yeah. So here's the thing. That's not a bad reasoning. If you're really planning to keeping this car for a long time, and you know that okay, maybe they won't get it done in the next year or two, which will be devastating for someone who's leasing a car or only turns their cars to in 2 or 3 years, like myself. It would be, I mean, there's lawsuits that are out there, and I'm surprised there are not more lawsuits for Elon saying you're going to get this, and then your lease is over and you never do, and your money is wasted. By the way, I should have mentioned they raised the prices on the package from $10,000 to $12,000, but I think the monthly fee is still the same, $199, which I would probably go with, especially if you're wondering if it's worth it. Well, use it for a couple of months for a total of what, $400, and it will give you a better idea. Yeah, so he says it will be $20,000. Honestly, I don't think so. I mean, he might up it to $20,000, but I think at some point, other car makers will match that, and they won't be charging ridiculous amount of money. So competition will lower the price. That's number one. Number two, I think, and this is right now, Teslas are selling like there's no tomorrow for a couple of reasons. One is pretty much all cars are selling very well, no matter how bad it is. Because there's shortage of chips, shortage of cars, shortage of used cars. So right now that's not a problem. And also there's a certain amount of people who would buy Tesla no matter what, just like certain amount of people who buy Apple iPhones. But at some point, you hit that number of people who, no matter what, buy it, and then all of a sudden, you now have to fight for an actual consumer that will choose you only because you are giving them actual some sort of a value over everybody else. So once Tesla will have to fight for those people, which it has never done before, you will see that they will have to come up with features that are like, for example, there's no head-up display on a Tesla. This is insane. And they're not doing it because they don't have to. But at some point they'll have to. And I think this ridiculous self-driving package cost will actually go down. Um, and don't forget the robo taxis. Elon thinks that everyone's going to be using their cars for that. Yeah, no. Just like everyone is not using their houses as Airbnb when they go and take a trip on the weekend, right? You can make pretty good money. But no, like in Vegas, when during CES, I could have rented my house out as an Airbnb and probably made $1,000. But no, I don't want people sleeping in my bed and pooping in my toilet. There's no way. I'm sure you guys have your own reasons why you don't Airbnb your house. So there will be very few people willing to Airbnb your car and make it a robo taxi. Don't forget, you have to take on the wear and tear. People treat rental cars like crap, right? And clean it up, and it will be someone else's stink or smell or whatever. And it really just you're gonna be I just don't see too many people doing it, and that's why there's no value like that for robo taxis of people who don't want to use their cars as a robo taxi and rent it out. I think that's such a crappy bad argument that it's gonna come back and hunt him, very shortly. All right, let's move on to the next one. But thank you for 20 Canadian dollars. I don't know how much is it in US dollars. Is it more or less? I lost track. Lafayette says VinFast from Vietnam looks good. Hope you and Sandy do a review. Yeah, we actually talked about VinFast, I think, in a few videos back. I don't know what's going on with my brain. I don't know if you notice, I'm having hard time getting the words out of my mouth. Um, we talked about it after we both saw it at the LA Auto Show and then CES in Las Vegas. It's very promising, and the reason I'm rooting for it is also because it's a newcomer and they have a lot of money behind it. So and they're making cars right now in their factories in Vietnam. They're not newbies, so I'm rooting for them. They're one of my sponsors, as you guys know. So I've talked to both of their American CEO and their global CEO. Both are women, by the way, and I got a great feeling from both of them and everybody who I met at VinFast. So I'm definitely looking for them. Looks good, but they need to make a drivable prototype that we can all drive. They're saying they're going in the market this year, right? It's time to put out a prototype. let's see. Oh, here's another. Steve Roper says, ID Buzz, like it or not. Love the concept. And I will be the first minute reservation holder when they unveil it on the 9th. I will check it out myself at their actual physical unveiling in Austin on March 11th, which is only 10 days away. I'm packing my stuff. So, I'm excited about it. But only if it. So there are a couple of things that bother me. Three actually. One, will it actually look really awesome? The concept looked awesome, but then we see it's now a little bit more boxy, a little bit. So let's see what they do with it. Secondly, it's kind of exactly like the ID4 inside, which is okay. I love my ID4, but put some of that 60s flavor in it. I would like that because the rest of it looks like it's very kind of retro. Gotta do that up front, and I hope they do. And my third one is, the Car Wow. They got a hold of one, and they did. It's a YouTube channel, and they did like a launch 0 to 60, and I don't know, maybe it's still a prototype that's not fully tuned, which is actually a lot of times is the case. They're about 20-30% less power, and I'm just surprised that Volkswagen didn't tell them that, if that's the case. The it's 10 seconds 0 to 60, and me, I don't care about like launching my car that fast. And when I launch my ID4 from the light, I end up beating most people, not because their cars are weaker, it's just because nobody likes to go that fast off of the light. So if you want to beat someone, I think 0 to 60 in 7 seconds is more than enough. And I don't care about racing Ferraris or anybody really off the light. I just want to go. So, yeah, but 10 seconds is a little bit too slow for me. I hope that's not really the case. I hope they can get it closer to 7. If that's the case, then I'm in. I will trade my ID4 to, for the ID Buzz. Claire says, I had no idea YouTube was that malicious. Well, listen, YouTube is a business. They're trying to make as much money as possible, right? So this is how the algorithm works. If they think that your next video is not going to be as watched as your previous one, and they have someone else whose video would be watched, and they need to make sure to keep people on the platform, then that's what it is, right? You can't hate the game if you decided to play. You know I play hockey and I play soccer, and not all rules I like. And yet I play, and I understand that you just have to you know just yeah, I'm done. Sorry, I think sometimes I just say too much. All right, let's see. Pedro, who usually sends me messages in Russian, send me another one and says, "Hi, Alex. Today, I don't care to comment. I am bothered and sad. I think we all are. I honestly like, and I have to admit that I have watched conflicts in other countries and horrible war footage, and I have to say that when I'm looking at pretty much the same scenario unfold, but people look like me, because Ukrainians and Russians will pretty much look the same, talk like me because most of them speak Russian, and live in buildings and that similar to where I used to live, and ride the buses and cars that I used to see when I was little. It breaks your heart even more, right? It really hits home literally, right? My dad is from Odessa, which is in Ukraine, and I'm from Moscow, and it is, yeah, it is. I think we're all saddened. I honestly don't understand how there's still some people here in the United States that, you know, um, support this. I really don't get it. I mean, I thought we're all against the war, you know, but I guess no. The issue is complicated. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel like NATO and U.S. handled this really bad. Like when he already done this before, just on a smaller scale, and nobody did anything about it. So what you permit, you promote, right? So I'm never on one side, but this time around, it's hard not to be on just one. Um, all right. I'm just gonna call you. You know what? I'm gonna call. Let's see. I'm going to call you Jennifer because I don't even know if you're a guy or a girl. I'm just going to call you Jenny. Jenny says FSD is not near there. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Here's the thing. There was defined by the name FSD, which, by the way, is illegal to call it full self-driving or autopilot in Germany. I think it should be legal anywhere. But they set this stupid high bar for themselves that they can't reach. If they would have called it a driver assistant, they would be there, right, Jennifer? So I don't know. It's a self-inflicted wound, I think. Um, Chappie Woody Morris says, "Good strategy for not reposting the Hangouts." I hate that I have to have a strategy, but yeah, and but I still think it just doesn't have that much value when you repost. By the way, we're to at 148 likes, and I really am hopeful that we can get to 200. I mean, I'm it's a yeah. 149 now. So if you guys just joined, first of all, welcome. But also, I'm playing a little game as I always do, even though it matters none for this video because it's not being reposted as we just discussed. If we can reach 200 likes, even though the audience today is a little bit smaller because of people are watching other things that are happening in the world. All right, for finally a comment on my wardrobe, which by the way is very much color coordinated today. Nice matching pink shirt and a watch, Alex. Pink day today. Michael, pink day is every day because I'm not gonna lie, pink is my favorite color. I love how it looks on a man, especially if you wear also black. I think it's daring, but also just looks good. It just pops. I played a soccer game yesterday, and I wear pink socks and pink laces when I play soccer. Um, in almost in every day, sometimes I wear pink socks. So yeah, I'm all about pink. I have no shame whatsoever. I think it's very fashionable. So yeah, today is Pink Day. Let's see. Any news from Tog? Asks Adnan. No, not much. I mean, I think right now they're executing, and the person who I usually am in touch, he's actually on vacation. As you know, people in Europe take real vacations. I think it's like 2 weeks long, so I'm kind of waiting for the response. But um, yeah, it's I will keep you updated, but there really shouldn't be any news except for they're working on it, right? Um, Lafayette says, manly man can wear pink. Absolutely. I've been doing it for many years. Claire says, in the US, you can sell anything, it seems. I think it's around the world. I don't think it's a US problem. It's just people are, you know, yeah. Timothy says, no politics, please. It's hard not to. It's hard not to. And and also don't forget I'm Russia, so I feel like I have a more responsibility than other people to support. And Greasy says, I like your glasses. I love my glasses. They're like no frame, but there's one place in Oakland that I go to very often, and the hostess there, she's a young, pretty girl, and she told me that because I always ask her like, what do you think about some of my fashion choices? Because young generation, and she's like, yeah, your glasses are like something like she said my father wears them, and on one hand I was like, oh, I can't believe it. And I was like, oh, okay, point taken, lady. I just happen to be dating someone. I've been mainly dating women who are much older than me. It just happened that way, by the way. I don't care about age. So, yeah, I don't mind the advice. And I thought she made it in like a bad way. And I'm like, no, girl, you just gave me kudos for my strategy. Um, oh, someone's saying there's a Russian bot in here. Let's see. Well, I didn't see it. Oh, I see. All right. Yes, you're right. We'll just ban this person. It's so nice and easy and quick. You won't believe it. Claire says you're pretty in pink. I will take that, Claire. Uh, as long as you don't look like Pepto Bismol. You know what? First of all, I love Pepto Bismol, Michael, and secondly, maybe I'll earn an extra sponsorship this way. Uh, Val says, politics is part of our lives in the world. You can't hide from it. Listen, my Sunday video is actually about how this conflict that we're all following is something reason that I bought the very first electric car that I had 10 years ago. So hold on a second. Yeah, I mean, people think that I bought my Tesla 10 years ago, but it was very inconvenient and expensive, honestly, for the environment. No, I don't think electric cars help the environment that much, actually, if you look at the numbers and facts. I did it so we don't have to fight wars where the oil is. And it sounds like this is partially the reason for this one as well. So, yeah, and listen, I don't involve politics. ever. But honestly, this one I feel like we should all be united, and it seems like we are. Yes, there are few people who are not, and then don't watch my channel. I have no problems losing subscribers, over this. And again, like I said, I feel like I have a bigger responsibility because I have a reach to an audience, and I'm Russian, and it's very important for me to do that. You guys did notice the background today is a Ukrainian flag, as I support people of Ukraine. Brad asks, do you listen to Pink? Yes, I do. There's a couple of songs that I really, really love. Not all of it, but a couple of songs that are really good. Let's see. Timothy says, I don't deny that, but I just want to have a nice chat group in Need for Electric. Alex, I had to wake up early for this. Listen, we don't do politics much here, but today is, and I try to keep it very short, but, it's here. Uh, what else? Let's take a question about electric cars. Alex, what do you think of the VinFast VF8? I mean, I just addressed it, right? So they need to produce a working prototype, and they really need to get going if they want to start selling cars by the end of the year. But I think they will. And even if it's a little bit later than that, I think I would buy one. By the way, I would totally buy one. Let's see. It says your background is green. My background is not green. It's blue and yellow. Oh, you mean yes? This is my green screen here in my studio, but my background, around it here. Um, Grizzly. Well, it's an interesting question. Alex, what do you think of convertibles? I mean, I like my hair the way it is. So driving, and I date usually women with long hair, and they hate it. Also, I don't do very well on a sun. Actually, if I spend too much time on the sun, I will literally match my t-shirt. So yeah, for me, it's either just pale skin or skin cancer, right? So like it's yeah, so convertibles are not for me, but I think they're cool. I mean, they're not as safe. Obviously, crap can just literally fly into it and kill you. But and I think if you're single or just if you're a woman driving by yourself, that's just a security risk. But overall, yeah, I like them. Fine. Let's see. Do you think Michael is asking? Do you think the Fisker Ocean is worth the wait over a Lyric? Okay, well, that's interesting. First of all, Fisker Ocean is half of the price of the Lyric. So if you're choosing between the two, I mean, I think Lyric is just going to be an awesome car. I've seen it in person. I think it's just so you know. And Fisker Ocean is more of a budget car if you think about it. Though I love the fact that the monitor goes vertical to horizontal. Only BYD Tong, I believe, has that feature. Um, so again, whenever people ask me, is it worth something? Remember, we just talked about it. It's like it's worth to you, and it may not be at all worth to me. So I can't answer that. But again, they're two different category. Uh, yes. I'm just kind of trying to pick. Here's Val is asking about the same thing. Your opinion on the Lyric? Love it by $10,000 over my budget. Well, it is a luxury car, and it's pretty damn good EV. So I think, and plus, don't forget that $10,000 is going to be taken care of partially by the $7,500 tax credit. Oh no, it's not. Ugh. Yeah, it's not because they're still GM. I gotta check on that because they're Cadillac, but they're still GM. But I think the price is actually very reasonable. I got to tell you, like I would drive it, I would buy it. Let's see. Whoa. Yeah, so here's another comment. Can you stay out of politics? I love your program, but you have solided with politics. Shame, really. I listen. I don't do. I'm going to say it one more time. I don't do politics very often, but at this point, I feel it's my responsibility. I don't know if you just didn't listen to what I said. I'm Russian. I have to speak out, right? And I also have, an audience, and I think, and plus, what's so wrong about speaking out from against like killing on both sides? Like, how is this bad? Have you? I don't know if you're like 7 years old or 10 years old, but if you're like me, over 40, you've seen this happen before. It never is a good thing. It's never is a good thing. So I'm sorry. And listen, if you don't like me saying I support Ukraine and once in a while say how this is tied into, electric cars, I'm sorry. Just don't watch me then. I hate to say this, but this is who I am. And if you're not game with sometimes me giving you my personal opinion, which you're perfectly fine to disagree with, this channel is not for you. You know, I'm sorry. Let's see. Timothy is asking, how's the dating so far? My dating life is actually much better. I found a better way to date. I can't believe that I did not know about this. As a matter of fact, at first somebody told me that, I was like, no. But yeah, I'm actually am in a kind of a bit of a heaven with this. Finally, I have a very certain type of a girl I want to date, and I feel like there's only seven of them in the entire state of California, and I was able to, and I was really kind of, when I used to date back before my long relationship, a long-term relationship of 7 years, I knew how to do it, right? You go to Match, you go to whatever dating site. If you're a good man who's financially stable, who takes care of yourself, like I don't do drugs or smoke or whatever, have good education. Boom, that's it. But that's not what's been happening for the last 3 years since I became single. I know I had a little 5 month relationship in between there. Yeah, so I was kind of like, wow, I don't even know how anymore. Now I do, and I'm having a really good time with it, meeting a lot of quality women to the point where I literally can't reply anymore on the website that I found. So yeah, it's going great. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm talking about dating now and not politics or electric cars. Um, it looks like you guys discussing it in the comments, and I'm staying away from that. Timothy said, wearing pink? Yeah, I literally just had a long conversation with someone else about it. Oh, look at that. We're at 179 likes. That's 21 away from 200, which is my goal. We're at 180. Come on, guys. 20 more likes and we get to 200. It will mean absolutely nothing to you or me, but I felt like maybe we'll just play this game. Oscar says, Alex, have you heard of Chinese luxury EV HEVX? It is outselling all German and other luxury EVs in China, which I'm not really sure if that's saying much because when I was in China, I didn't see too many German cars at all. No, I have not heard about it. But again, if it's just local to China that will never ever get out of China and be possibly here or has some amazing technology that we want to know about, there's really no reason for me to cover it since I'm not available in China. Um, John says, I'm not gonna like you anymore if you don't tell me what the dating site is. I'm a little bit hesitant to tell you because when somebody told me what it is, and it was my good friend, I told them to go F themselves. And then repeatedly so until I realized that there is a nuance there. So I would have to explain. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. You guys ready? My dating advice is this for you. And someone else, uh, easy dating in 2 steps with Alex. That's right. And then he has swapped clothes with Barbie. I might have. Uh, let's see what else. Michael, Alex, hopefully that dating app is not only fan. No, but very close to it. See, this is, um, and here's another one. Lafayette says, "I love your channel. Other Russian YouTubers are committing on their support of Ukraine. Thank you. Absolutely, it's a right thing to do." All right, I'll answer this one. We'll go back to dating. Jampy says, "How long will it take for EVs to get a price of 25,000 euros, which is about $30,000 or less, and still have a range of 400 kilometers, which is what about 280?" Yeah, miles. Um, I mean, maybe a couple more years. I mean, Fisker Ocean will be that, around that. Nissan Leaf, hopefully, will get a. I mean, Nissan Leaf you can buy already for like $22,000 after incentives here in the U.S. I mean, obviously with a 150-mile range, but it's something. Yeah, I mean, I think we're a couple of years away. I mean, the Equinox, right, promised for $30,000, and that should have a decent range. Yeah, I think we're almost there. I think we're almost there, and not just for one manufacturer to do it, but for a lot. All right, let's get back to the best dating advice. Be honest. Okay, so I've been I've been to. Are we? Oh, we're at 205. Look at that. Me talking about dating is apparently that was the trick. All right. So, like I said before, my breakup with my long-term girlfriend, you've seen on her my channel a few times. 3 years ago, I knew, Match.com, Bumble, Tinder, whatever. You can go if you're a good man, if you're in shape, if you take care of yourself, if you, you know, do things to you to kind of put some effort into your appearance. That will also means that usually people also take care of themselves on the inside, and they'll live longer, they'll be healthier, and they probably have a better mental health. Like all of that is kind of a thing, right? So. But also, if you're a good man who's honest, who has good education, who is financially stable, who treats a woman well, you're good. There will be a line outside of your door. But when I became single 3 years ago, I realized none of that matters. None of that matters. As a matter of fact, I have a feeling that we're kind of following Japan into this whole women don't need men anymore and men don't need women anymore thing, which is unbelievable to me, but that's somehow the case. So, and I started striking out all the time. I'm in like 5 dating apps. I'll meet a girl on there. We start talking, and all of a sudden she just stops talking, right? Or you schedule a date, and the girl just doesn't show up, or runs half an hour late, and then really is upset with you because you went home. Stuff like that never, ever, ever used to happen, but now they happen all the time. And I just realized, I feel like it just women don't need guys. I literally bought a house in Las Vegas to see if I can live there part-time, if the dating pool there is better, and if it would be, I would move there. That I was willing to move, right? And it wasn't, it was the same crap. So I was kind of really I don't want to say desperate, because I do enjoy being a single guy, but definitely bothered by this. And a friend of mine who always gave me good advice, I said, okay, well, give me good advice on dating. What the hell do I do? Um, and he said, you should go to the website Seeking Arrangements. Now, if you guys don't know what Seeking Arrangements is it's basically a website for younger women to get together with older men who will essentially give them money one way or another, either just like cash or what they call allowance. The girls call sugar babies, the guys call sugar daddies. There's some sort of a financial arrangement, right? I told my friend to go F himself, because I would never. I don't. If I come up to a girl at a bar or lounge or whatever, I never offer her a drink, because I feel like if you're buying her a drink right away, you're essentially buying her attention and time. And a lot of girls actually will take it, even though they're not interested in the guy. If we're talking for an hour and we're clicking and her drink is empty, I'm a gentleman. I will offer a refill, right? So. Uh, but so I was like, there's no way, dude. There's just no way, no way. He's like, no, you don't understand. 9 out of 10 women there are looking for money, and you just ignore them. Yeah, they're very, very honest about it. The site is called Seeking Arrangement, but 1 out of 10 women there actually is not for the money to take, but for the money of what it represents. A lot of times, money represents the fact that the man is probably educated, hardworking, maybe owns his own business, accomplished, driven, um, probably doesn't do drugs, probably can afford his own ass, doesn't live with roommates at the age of 40 something. His car doesn't break down. So the qualities that are normally a woman looks for a man in general, this is a hack for them, because women say that they're not having a good luck on dating apps either. So they go to this side where, like I said, they don't care about the money. Every woman that I went out with, I mean, honestly, I spent less money on them. Several of them didn't even order a drink. So on our like first date. So yeah, I can now vouch for this. And I looked at some dating advice on YouTube that reviewed this website, and I guess that this was like a well kept secret. Is you go there, you ignore 9 out of 10 women, and you basically be honest with them, just say, listen, I'm here for a genuine connection, and the quality of women is amazing. Now, they are younger women, because that's just how it works. There are some very few women in their 30s and 40s. And I'm not, there's some issues, of course, dating younger women, but just like dating women my own age got its own issues. And I don't care about the age, by the way. So it just happened this way. So yeah, that is how I've discovered a much better quality dating life, and I'm enjoying it right now. So there you go. And we're still stuck at 207 likes, which I don't really care if we go anymore. We already met 100 and now 200 milestone. So yeah. All right. Well, let's see what kind of comments I got with this. John says, I thought this was the EV channel. John, I know, I'm sorry, but I've been asked by so many people, and I warned everybody it's going to be a bit of a story. So I caved under the pressure. Uh, you do care about your age. Oh, my age, right? I don't care about the age of a girl I'm dating. Um, all right, see, I'm getting some comments. All right, so let's get back to electric cars, but I'll take a few more hopefully funny comments. Um, all right, let's go. Alex apparently is the chant here. All right. Let's get back to electric cars for a little bit more. Alex, what are you seeing as the battery technology that will be most common in 5 years? Okay, it's probably going to be solid state, Eric. But what I'm rooting for is I don't care what kind of battery technology it's going to be, as long as it's a battery swap. I love the concept of battery swap. I hope it wins the hearts because, as I mentioned many times, it's the only way to get your car from 0 to 100 in terms of fuel faster or as fast as a gas car. That's the only one thing left that electric cars are just not better and might really much worse than gas cars, and that solves the problem. Also, you don't have to carry a heavy battery all the time that you don't need because most of the time we only use like 20% of its battery. You can actually have a smaller battery and then swap it to a bigger battery when you need to take a longer trip, which also will save you money. Leasing a smaller battery will be cheaper. And by the way, when I say smaller batteries, most likely it's going to be like 6 modules, and you figure out how many modules you want swapped out, right? Um, all right. All right, J Mayer. J Mayer. Is it good to buy a used car online, like through Carvana or one of those? Well, right now it's not a good time to buy any type of car because it's really expensive. Chip shortage should be hopefully over, by the end of the year. So if you can avoid buying a car, avoid buying a car. Um, but I always, if you're gonna buy a used car, I always go to Craigslist. I would always buy from a private party. First of all, you can negotiate a better deal, right? Because you can have a personal situation where they need to get rid of the car really quick, where the dealership always needs to make a profit. So it's always going to be cheaper. Secondly, I like to talk to people whose car I'm going to be driving. I want to look into their eyes. I want to know what kind of person they are because that's probably how they treated the car. And like half people will actually be honest about what kind of problems the car has, and it's much easier to see people lie about the car if they're a regular person rather than a salesman that's essentially a trained liar, right? Sorry to salespeople out there, but and plus a lot of times the salespeople may not actually lie because they don't know there was a problem. So yeah, to me, if you're buying a used car, it has to be from a private party. So we're talking about Craigslist. What's the other one that I like to use? Auto Trader and whatever else is out there. All right. The Leaf has poor heat management. It used to, but now it seems like it's fine. I know they don't have active thermal management system, but it sounds like they're able to manage it with just air flowing a correct way through the battery. I have not seen issues with that one. But I gotta go to a super chat. Where is the super chat? There you go. This is a 13.99 in Canadian dollars. I'm assuming that's $10. I'm gonna assume, and no message from Oscar Pinto. So he just threw some money at me and left. I will take that, Oscar. I appreciate it. Um, Here's another one. Grizzly HP2. Do you think solar on EV will ever be a serious help, like on Aptera and the Sono? Yes. I mean, we're in a baby stage of solar batteries, right? The technology, I think it is possible to collect enough energy to, especially for a daily driver, right? Yeah, of course. If you're going to go to Tahoe from San Francisco, you're not gonna get all of your energy for that overnight when your car is parked at the garage. So I think it might. But the problem is this: I like parking my car in a garage, and I don't know if you know, there's no sun in my garage. So to me, just the fact that you have to park it outside, and by the way, in bigger cities or even just two or three and up story buildings, you're gonna park in the shade, right? And at night. So I don't know. To me, it's much easier to put those on your roof, store that energy in the battery, in a home battery, and then charge your car that way. To me, it's a much better way. So yes, they can be, but realistically, no. Hope that makes sense. Um, Ditto on battery swaps, says Garfield Blythe. I don't know why I bothered reading last names when I know I'm going to butcher them. Not even good at first names. Okay, his skylight for the garages, but yeah, but drive the lightning. Skylight is still has no sun at night, where most of us need to charge, and the car is not being used, right? Um, Another comment on my fashion choices by Melody of 1974, which could be a, you know what, maybe that would be my name for my ID buzz, Melody of 1974. Love the pink shirt you have been wearing. I have a couple of them. One that says, stay charged on the bottom. Another one says, let's take some E. I hope people find it's funny. And by the way, do you guys ever noticed a battery in my logo? A lot of people don't notice, but it's carved out with a battery. Yes, no, maybe? All right. What else? Lafayette is shocked that there is no sun in my garage. I tried to buy one of those on eBay, but apparently there is only one in stock and it's already been used by a bunch of people. So, yeah, I'll have to wait until there's more inventory. Warren asks, I got two quick questions. Do you think this build back better build pass? I can't predict what how Congress does. I mean, they don't. Yeah, I mean, they've been useless for a long time, especially when it comes to us regular people. I mean, I hope it does. But again, if Democrats would be smarter, which is a lot to ask from them, and again, you guys know I'm not a Democrat or a Republican, they would split that bill into smaller bills so everybody can like vote on one thing. So one thing will pass, another one thing won't pass. But I hope it does. We do need infrastructure. We really do need infrastructure. And if Warren continues, and if it does, what the best EV to get? I can never answer that question. People ask that to me all the time on social media and in person. It's like asking which girl would be the best for me to be my wife, right? I don't know. It depends on your budget. It depends on your, I don't know. What do you look like visually? I mean, I'm sorry. What do you like visually? Do you like EV6 or Ionic 5 that I think are ugly, or i3? Some people do, and the other way around. I think ID4 is beautiful, and some people think it's ugly. I can't tell what are the features that you need, right? Like, to me, the fact that I have 3 years of unlimited fast charging on my ID4, that's a big deal to me. Yeah, so I can answer that. Sorry. Oh yeah. Alexandra, great name, says only real men wear a pink shirt. Cheers. Yeah, I think And by the way, someone had the pink avatar right there. Uh, Okay, Claire asks, why not charge at work and let the boss pay? If you have a chance to do that, yes, of course, do it. But from what I understand, most of the time there are way more electric cars now at the offices than there are chargers, and then you have to do this whole dance to swap it out. It becomes a thing, you know. And I think they're going to start charging at some point because so many people will have electric cars. They're not going to be willing to continuously install these chargers and probably upgrade their electrical panels and system just so they can give more free electricity to their employees. I just don't think so. Um, Michael says, Alex, what do you think of Tesla Solar and is having the Powerwall worth it here in California Bay Area? Depends where you live. If you live in Santa Clara, where there's cheap electricity from Santa Clara utilities, then no, it's not worth it. If you live anywhere else where there is PG&E, you will be saving money on your energy bill. And I think a Powerwall, I mean, by the way, you don't have to go with a Powerwall. There's other alternatives that are sometimes even better in terms of how they manage separate pieces of your appliances. Which reminds me, I have an appointment. Nope, no one called. Um, so yeah. So and again, it depends. I mean, we haven't had rolling blackouts here in a while, so the Powerwall is for that. So just it's a to me it's a financial a math problem rather than anything else. In the long term, of course, you lock the energy rates in your house forever, so that's a big plus. But we don't know if the energy levels, rates are going to be up or down. Probably up with inflation. So yeah, it's again, it's just so hard to answer those questions. There was a question that I kind of saw and liked. It was about what? Oh yeah, here it is. From Morton, he asks Alex, what will be your next car after the ID4? Most likely ID Buzz. However, is a possibility then VinFast VF8 as well. So, for example, it also depends, right? Like, for example, if like my sponsors, I don't want to just advertise brands because they pay me money. I want to advertise brands that I actually like enough to buy. So, for example, when I advertised ID4 last year, I bought the ID4, and it was kind of happened the other way around, right? I was going to buy an ID4, and it made sense for Volkswagen to sponsor my channel. So, yeah, we'll see. I'd rather buy something that I already preaching on my channel from my sponsor. What EVs are you testing next? Okay, Roger. So Volkswagen Buzz is going to be unveiled on the 9th and on the 11th. They will be presenting it to us in person in Austin at the South by Southwest. I'll fly in there and I don't know if they're going to let us drive it though. I don't think they will. And then after that, I'll be going to Spain to test drive the Nissan Aria. Only on a test track, but nevertheless, so those are the two ones that I will be test driving. I'll also be riding in a Access delivery van and probably armored um, Loomis van that they have. And what else am I doing? Yeah, I think those three for sure. Um, Vroom says battery swap ain't gonna happen. Too much infrastructure needed. Also space for battery storage. Also number of stations, especially out of the city. Yeah, but we got to build infrastructure no matter what. I don't know if they're taking that much space. I think they're taking like 3 parking spots. And battery storage. I mean, you don't need that many batteries there because they're consistently being charged. So I think you only need like 30. So I don't know. I mean, I love it. So I don't care if it's too much of anything. I think this is the best solution, but I hear your point. It is a tough sell. Um, yeah, I agree with you, Lafayette. I hope the ID Buzz is not stupidly expensive either, because otherwise I just won't. Roger says, and this is going to be the last question, guys, because my voice is starting to go and my stomach's asking me for my Chipotle. Um, so I'm sorry if I won't be able to reply to the rest, but again, super chats get priorities. If so, unless there isn't a super chat, I will end with this. Alex says, Roger, test more EVs. So I've stopped testing EVs as much as I used to because, first of all, there are people who do an excellent job reviewing EVs and they get into everything. And I'm just not as interested in like little details as those excellent YouTubers are and they bring. Secondly, to test EVs, you have to be on good terms with all manufacturers and they're with their PR people, which I am, but at the same time, a few of them have gone really bad. There are some PR departments that now kind of grew too full of themselves with too much egos, and they just don't treat YouTubers or journalists well at all. And I've always told myself that if I ever have my business, just my own business, I would not be dealing with bad people or crappy people. And there are too many crappy people, like the PR people at Lucid, for example, awful. A Porsche, unexcusably bad, and Rivian. Um, I can probably name a few more, but like those are probably the worst ones. And the thing is, I'm not willing to kiss their butts, and just so I can test drive their cars. And then, of course, by the time you get one from a customer, and everyone's already done a review. So I drive those cars when I can, just so I can tell you that I'm, driven most of the electric cars because that's my job. But as far as reviewing them for you guys, it's just ethically, I just can't get my, you know what I mean. Some of these people are just really crappy people. I don't want to. Ooh, the champ says. Well, first of all, before I get to that, Rick says one of these days you need to get sponsored by Chipotle. I absolutely agree. Um, Wait a second. It was a good comment that I missed. Damn it. There's a super chat, so that will be one more question I'm going to answer. Tesla should have no problem giving you a roaster, Tesla. Well, 70% off is what I got, but it looks like they're having a problem giving anybody a roaster, even people willing to pay full price, right? Um, you rock. Thank you so much. So do you. I really appreciate it. Damn it, I already missed that comment. Sorry guys, but I'm gonna go with a super chat from Eric. Thank you so much. 10 American dollars, another Chipotle meal. As he says, for your Chipotle fund. So I thought it was a big question, but thank you, Eric, for just funding one of my meals. And I'm gonna go and have one right now. I appreciate, guys. Again, I'm sorry, it's just so many. Yeah, 227 likes. I think we beat our record. So it's an interesting game we play. By the way, I love getting this thing gamified, right? So if there are other little games we can play and not just the thumbs up game, I'd be more than happy to entertain that idea because I that would be awesome. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 20 minutes. That's definitely against the my doctor's orders for my voice. And I'm definitely had a lot of fun. By the way, before I go, of course, let me do this one more thing, and this is to tell you about the since we just actually talked about green energy and solar panels and storage. This all of my live streams are sponsored by EnergyPal. If you're shopping for your home solar system, it's the best place online to shop, review, and compare quotes. They do all of the hard work for you, and you to save. You'll get the best rates, and once your installation is complete, you'll get an ePro Electric Viewer exclusive $500 gift card when you use the link in the description of this video. All right, guys, and by the way, thanks for those of you who actually contacted them and try getting quotes. I know several of you guys actually in the middle of installing your system because of EnergyPal, so that's really awesome. Um, let's see. Yeah, that's not a good. Okay, let me just hide this user from the channel. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget next Tuesday I'm still going to be doing it, but after that I'm traveling, so I'm going to figure out with the time changes, especially when I'm in Spain. So that's usually kind of a tough one, but either way, I appreciate all of you guys watching. Looking forward to the next one next week. Other than that, as always, remember.